I'm Irene. Welcome to the Journeys of Success podcast, which covers the success stories of individuals who transform our world. Our special guests talk about their career paths, what inspired them, and how they contribute to sustainable development. Okay, welcome to the Schulte Group's podcast, where we delve into conversations shaping our world today. I'm Irene, the podcast host, and in today's episode, we are honored to have with us Cristina Aleixendri, the COO and Co-Founder of Buerblue, the inventor of more than 5 patents in the field of wind-assisted propulsion systems, and a dedicated professional in making the shipping industry more sustainable. Welcome, Cristina.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Let's start with a more general question first. We want to learn more about your background, your journey on climate innovation and entrepreneurship. What were some significant events that shaped your career, some challenges that you faced or setbacks?
Yeah, I would say that really entrepreneurship and innovation didn't came natural to me. So when I was a child, really, you always get this question, what do you want to become when you grow up? At that point, I wanted to be a teacher because the only thing that I was seeing at school were teachers. So basically, that was my answer always. Then later, I spent a lot of time. Unfortunately, I always explain this, but my grandfather, they were getting older and older, and at some point they were going to the hospitals, and I was seeing that each time they were entering the hospital, they were entering so bad, and then they were getting out of the hospital so well, really as if they had get out from them 5 years or 10 years. So basically it was they're saving the lives of my family. So I thought of becoming a doctor, and it was okay for me. I was good at biology at that time. I was good at chemistry. So it was okay, but still inside there was something that wasn't okay for me. So at some point I met one of my professors at school, which was teaching me mathematics at that time. And I was very fortunate because she was an engineer herself. So she sat with me. I still remember we were at school, and she got me really unexpectedly. And she said, come here. Have you thought about having a career in engineering? And of course, shipping was not in my plans at all. So I went to aeronautic engineering, aerospace, airplanes, engines. And that was really, really good for me. I loved to solve problems, and that's perfect for engineers. And when I finished school, really, I had to choose, the university, I had to choose a project. Final project for my master's. And I already met Jose Miguel and David while I was studying at university. They had already finished the university. They started working in an aerospace company. But Jose Miguel and David explained me the idea of putting sails back on ships. So I decided to do that project about what today is Buerblue. So that was the natural way for me to go to shipping, seeing there was a problem in shipping as a good engineer, trying to find a solution and finding it within my own industry as an aeronautical engineer.
That's amazing. And it's really nice that you shared this story, because for younger people that they don't know what to do in their careers, it's okay for them to know that you don't have to know from the age of 17. You can develop your career and navigate these challenging times and find your way out and be successful like you are. And I wanted to ask you more about Buerblue. It offers highly innovative, eco-friendly solutions to the shipping industry via this new wind-assisted propulsion system. And this is something that the industry is really actually looking into currently because of the whole decarbonization and climate change challenges. So I wanted to ask you, how many vessels are currently using your technology today?
So I think first, what is our technology? Because for somebody that doesn't know about Buerblue, and I hope there's people that might know about us, let's see if we are doing a great job, letting know what we are doing and what we're working on. So what we're doing is bringing sails back to ships again, but not those sails from the past, like the ones Phoenicians used. They're not soft sails. They're rigid sails. They're made of steel, and they incorporate a suction area. So throughout the whole span of the sail, you have small holes walls to suction the boundary layer. And this enables us to generate 8 times more forces than what an airplane wing would generate. So that has a lot of benefits for ships, because we're able to offer a solution that is highly efficient. So we're able to make it smaller to generate better and higher savings. So we're offering a suction sail to reduce the fuel consumption and emissions of ships, helping them decarbonize and at the same time comply with regulations. So today we have already made 4 installations so far. So the first 2 were done in 2021, one in summer and the other, I still remember it was Christmas time, 24th and 25th of December. And those 2 ships in 2021 were on a fishing vessel and a general cargo. So we installed on the fishing vessel a 12-meter high suction sail, which we named E-sail, and then a 17-meter one on a general cargo. And last year, we made another installation in summer 2023 on a general cargo, where we installed for the first time 2 sails, not just a single one, or in this case, 17 meters high. And this February 2024, we installed 3 sails of 22 meters high on a ro-ro ship. And yeah, that doesn't stop here. Like, we have other installations ongoing this year and the following ones, because we have projects on both new builds and existing vessels. So on tankers, on bulkers, mixed like cargo and passengers, working with owners like Odfjell, EPS, Amasus, Marubeni, Louis Dreyfus Company. Like things are ramping up for the wind propulsion side and for our suction sail technology.
For sure. Are there any misconceptions about wind-assisted propulsion systems that you'd like to clear up? Because I know it's a new technology, so many people, may be hesitant to try this new approach. So is there something that you would like to clear up on this one?
There's like a lot of misconceptions. Some of them is more of the conservative side, like saying not willing maybe to the technology. So because this is not useful for container ships, then this is not a useful technology for the whole industry. Well, it's useful for segments like bulkers, tankers, which is great part of the global fleet. And it's true that container ship is quite limited space on deck to install this type of technologies. But then you also have like ro-ro, LNG carriers, like nearly all the fleet could benefit from this type of technology. Then there's like other misconceptions around, let's say, wind. So we cannot predict wind. What happens if there's no wind? Well, you can predict wind at some point, and it's true. And you have data to really predict and calculate those payback sides. Then there's another one, which is, I tried to talk a little bit before about this, but the one of the bigger the sail, the more power delivered. And I still like read sometimes when I publish something on LinkedIn, I try to be very like active there. And there's like some comments saying this sail is too small to generate savings for such large ship. Well, welcome to this century. Today we have the technology really to provide high thrust without needing such amount of like large sails, really. So there's no impact on visibility, on stability, light, deck occupation. So I think there's like a lot of misconceptions that really the technology, wind propulsion like a solution can address and can like solve. But it's a matter of having a look at the technology with the willingness really to implement it and see what's the sweet spot for the technology. For sure, if you're sailing on the Mediterranean, then the technology is not for you. But if you're sailing at North Atlantic, North Pacific, then wind propulsion is for you. If there's wind, there's savings.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And anyone who is interested to find out more, we will share your contact details to approach you and see whether there is a potential for using your technology on their ships. Or maybe working at Bound for Blue for sure. Moving now on to another topic, you're a very successful woman in a very male-dominant industry. That is, we are seeing the progress and we are seeing the industry becoming more and more inclusive, but such successful examples like yourself are still a bit limited. So the question is, how can women rise to the top, become key players, and have a decisive impact on the present and future of their companies and industries?
I think we tend to believe like the reason why women in our industry are not on the top maybe is because of external factors, like saying that the industry does not support this woman to be in these places. And at some point it could be, not in all companies for sure, and not in the whole industry. Or I would say also sometimes when they ask me, people, outsiders from the industry, how's it in shipping industry, I think it's really similar to whatever type of industry. Really, we are not different people because we're working in shipping. So there's this external side. So this is a question of how we as companies, how we as professionals can create an ecosystem really to support a specific group of people, not just women, but a specific group of people within our industry. And I remember once that I was waiting for an owner. I went to an event and there was a panel, and I was willing to listen to an owner, male owner, ship owner. And then the day I came there, the owner was not there, but rather he invited a woman to represent the company. So the women did the best job ever and really delivered. But really, it's a matter of leaving women also speak up, really putting them in the place they deserve to be, and not only women, but other groups. And then there's the internal factor. And here I'd like to put myself as an example, because it's a matter of believing in ourselves. So I remember at CMA, I was with a colleague from the industry, Gina, which is working on ESG. If you don't know her, maybe you should invite her.
I know her.
Okay. So I realized that I was not selling myself. So I was selling the company, what we are doing, but what we, so not me as a person. And Gina stopped me and she said, Cristina is one of the founders. Like, she's aeronautical engineer. She's done this since like the beginning. And it was her like really raising me up. And we should be ourselves also the ones that should raise ourselves, like believe in ourselves, what we're doing. So it's not just about the external factors, but also we as women, what can we do really to believe in our potential and to show it? And it's the way also to show others that you're capable too. And then there's a matter of also, I'm saying, like, it's not just about gender, it's about diversity overall. So it's about age, like having different representatives. It's about having different nationalities. And I think the best example is in shipping itself. Like, shipping is global. So you should have like different groups of people working to solve the problems that the industry is facing and will face in the future. And as important as it is to build a diverse team, which I'm seeing like a lot of companies, and Gina would be able to explain a lot of this side, but it's as important to build this diverse team as to prevent the bias within the teams, because you can create a team that has women, men, different ages, different nationalities, but then at the end of the day, the people taking the decision, the people speaking up are always the same group of people. So you need to also like create this culture in the company. This is something I really feel proud of that we've done at Buerblue. And it's, I want to say it this way, it's about walking the talk. Like, you do it, but you also like show it and implement it and do it day by day. So I suggest like all of these things.
Amazing. And you have seen already the benefits of having diverse team within your company, correct? I mean,
yeah, I believe that the diverse teams really bring also like more commitment in the companies. They have like this higher collective intelligence. They are better, these not homogeneous, but heterogeneous teams. They're better at making decisions, at solving problems. This is a great example. It's very simple, but we can go to the beach, and then in the background, there can be like a mountain. If I always look at the mountain and I take a photo, I'll say that day I was in the mountain. But then maybe yourself, you've taken the photo of the beach, and you say, no, there was no mountain. But if you put the both photos together, then you have the whole picture, the whole problem, and you can solve it much better. So this is, I believe, what brings diversity, different perspectives. So it's not who is really the one that has the truth about how the industry is, how the problem is, but rather all together that really we can have the whole overall picture.
Amazing. Thank you. Your work has been recognized from various departments, from various industries, including being named Forbes 30 under 13 manufacturing and industry category. And you were recognized among the 10 women to watch in shipping, among many other awards that you have won throughout your career. If you could go back and give yourself advice at the start of your career, what would it be?
I think I'm very proud as of how I've been like going on. So I would say like keep going, you'll find the way. It's not that I knew it since the very beginning, but like be yourself, just trust the process. Sometimes you will have to go in a wrong direction to really understand why this is not for you. Like keep going, you'll find the way.
Perfect. And are there any books, resources, or people that you would that significantly influence your journey and you would like to share with the audience?
So at the beginning, I remember like reading a lot of books, like even the Harper's Business Review, like, it's very good. But at some point it was more on a research side. Like really, it was very hard to implement. So I really learned a lot by doing. So it's not just about reading. You could read a lot of books and do nothing at home, but then it's about action, taking action. And that was about like building the company, starting to hire people, to build a team, to build the technology, first implementations, learning a lot, iterating. And this is I couldn't find that in a book. Like the journey I had to develop in Bound for Blue, I couldn't find that in a book. So what I've really learned a lot is about the experience of other entrepreneurs in this case. So I'm very active in different ecosystems, not only I try to be in shipping for sure, but in other sites, because I think that in the same way that our solution is coming from another industry, which is the aeronautical industry, I believe that a lot of things in like interesting ideas can be found outside. So what are new business models that other industries are applying could also be applied in shipping. Because at the end of the day, like if we do always the same things in the same way, we will always get the same results. So I encourage whatever person like listening to us today, like to really look in other industries on how they're really solving their problems or how they've done it in the past, because we could also do it ourselves here in our industry.
Perfect. And always think out of the box, because many of the solutions we are looking at are not within the box. Any other thoughts that you would like to share with us before the closing of today's podcast?
Yeah, so I think that a long time ago when we founded the company, decarbonization was not in the agenda. So I would say whoever is listening to us today, make sure decarbonization forms part of your day-to-day. It doesn't have to be that you become the sustainability manager or the ESG responsible in the company, but decarbonization will touch all areas of your company. So make sure you're aware, you're updated, you know what things are coming up, how these will affect your day-to-day, because shipping, the way it has been developing throughout the last years, will not be the same in the next ones. And another thing I would also like encourage everybody is that diversity today is not just a matter of justice. It's not fancy. It's something you really need to do. Is strategic. It's imperative that the company does it. And us as professionals, even if we are not part of the management, we can also drive it. So big changes are driven from the bottom, not from the top. So we can do it also. And I believe it's the only way really to transition towards a sustainable future.
Perfect. Thank you very, very much for your time, Cristina. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors and a lot of success for Bound for Blue. And we will see if we can, collaborate and try your solution and other sustainable solutions on our vessels as well. So thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, let's continue to work for a more sustainable future. Thank you all.